Hi everyone, how we doing? We gonna be playing some gosh dang Ace Attorney today because I couldn't make up my mind. And I should grab my controller. I'm not prepared to stream at all. How are you all doing tonight? Another week survived, hooray! Happy Friday! How we all doing? I don't have any of my screens set up. I swear I know what I'm doing right now. How we all doing? We got Lee Myers, Snake Eyes, Made Silverleaf, Gem. Welcome to Murders. You ate too much sushi. I'd say, is there too much thing as too much sushi? But no, there is too much of sushi. As good as it is. Resdale. See, I've played the first Phoenix Wright too many times. Because my brain is always like, I need to play the first one if I'm going to play any of the other ones. And then I play through the first one and then I get distracted. So I was like, no, we're going to play the first one in the timeline. And then maybe I'll actually finish the entire series of Ace Attorney somewhere along the way. Plus, I figured it would just be fun to give a try to. Yeah, I'm coming in hot. Let me... Whoop. All right. Audio, come back. Alright, as per usual, we're playing a new game. Let me know if my voice is too high, if the game sound is too high, if any combination of things are bad. Excuse me, controller. There we go. Controller. A little loud. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. We scooched it down a little bit. Yeah, because I don't hear the end that you guys hear. So it's very helpful when you guys let me know. Because I can guess based on levels, but I'm not always right. Can I turn down Gem's achy tummy? What do I wish? Gem, just turn that off. That's something you can do, right? Turn off the achy tummy. Alright. New adventure. I think this one might... Oh, it has like actual animation in it.
The Empire of Japan.
And voice acting.
After opening its doors, a push for cultural transformation.
I'm so excited right now.
Western influence to this far eastern island nation. The revolution washed over the land, making life in the capital exciting and unsettling. It was a period of great change, and some was swept away by the tide.
A murder.
But for one man, the turbulence of that era was just the beginning of an extraordinary story.
Excuse me, did we murder? Okay, so for anyone who doesn't know what Ace Attorney games are, you play as an attorney and try and solve murders. Most of the time with hilarious hijinks in between. Right. What year is this, though? I get it's November 22nd, but what year are we in? Because I know it's older era. I can't believe it. I still can't believe this is happening. How can it be that just beyond the doors to this quiet little chamber is the highest court in Japan, waiting to decide my fate? 1880s? They might have said, I've just already forgotten. Let's be honest. What? Oh, no, nothing. Save your glares, murderer. Da, 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 da. Sorry. My name is Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I might have said that right. I'm a second-year student at the Imperial Yume University. 3 days ago, I somehow found myself in the middle of a horrifying incident. And now here I am, awaiting my trial. That's enough. Oh, who are you? Not obligated to listen to such abuse, officer. Was he abusing me? Who are you? Mr. Cool Hair. I can't remember what the word that the thing on his head. Wow. I'm this man's lawyer. Oh, thanks. I'll be defending him today. Lawyer, yes? And until the judge has given his verdict on the case, no one has the right to treat him as a criminal. You will hold your tongue. Are you allowed to bring swords into the Supreme Court? Look at you. You haven't even graduated yet. And yet, I still seem to know better than a court officer, than you, how a court officer should have behaved. Called trial by combat. Right, Ryunosuke? Oh, yes, of course, sorry. Hello, sir. What are you apologizing to me for? Oh, no, I suppose that wasn't my fault. But really, Kazuma, I never meant to drag you into this. I'm sorry. Alright, we have a name. Might want to move my avatar into one of the corners. You right. This would be smart. Winky, 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 winky. I'm gonna live over here. Jam, thank you for doing a gift sub. Sweet Bean and Psycho Hair, thank you for subbing up for your 20th month on your 19th month streak. Oh, wait, I gotta click back into the game. Oop. Just like always. Ah. So I must say, you've been all over in the newspapers this past few days. You made a university professor murdered in cold blood by students. But obviously, you didn't actually do it, did you? Right, but why do we have a gun in our hands? I have so many questions. Raven, thank you for giving out 2 gift subs. Right? Yes. Damn, you are a good bean. You shut your poor little tummy up. Of course not. You have to believe me. I didn't do it. I could never murder someone. There's nothing to worry about. Straighten yourself up. Hold your head high. I've also just realized most of the streamy sites don't like when you say murder anymore, do they? I'm about to play a game all about murdering. That's fine. It's not like they can suppress me any more on YouTube than they already do. We're good. I believe you. I know you're innocent. Kazuma Asagi, my best friend, also in his 2nd year at Yume University. He's far more clever than I. A star student, in fact. That's because he's got a headband. He's even a qualified lawyer. Impressive, considering he's still an undergraduate. Not that impressive. The very concept of lawyers is only a few years old. Here in Japan, anyway. My qualifications don't mean much. Yet. Did exactly the same thing 3 days ago. But I'm proud to have a friend like you, Kazuma, truly. 3 days ago. Yes, that's when all this started. Flashback. Congratulations, Kazuma. It looks like you're going to get to study abroad at last. I know, I've been forever dreaming of this day. Finally, those government elites have acknowledged my academic achievements and successes in court. You'll be representing Japan as you immerse yourself in the most sophisticated legal system in the world. I'm really happy for you, and proud as your friend. Not a soul in the university who doesn't know Kazuma's name. He's a living legend. It's like there's some mysterious aura words billowing about his temple. By aura, do we mean headband? He has a headband billowing about his temple. I want to bring about change in our own legal system. That's why I have to cross the ocean and see the real thing with my own eyes. The heart of the British Empire. I wish I could see it too. Then come with me. We'll have a wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's city of London together. If only it were that simple. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Oops, I've murdered someone. I think I'll stay out and enjoy this place a while longer. Good idea. After all, it's not every day you get to visit a high-class Western restaurant like this. See you in English class tomorrow then, partner. It was straight after that. That's when it happened. Alright, so is it Asogi or Asogai? Dude, may I have a word? These are people. Professor, I didn't know you were coming. This case has personal significance to me. But never mind that for now. Our name is Ryunosuke, Raven. It's all good. You should immediately go to the judge's chambers. To His Excellency's chambers? Why? He was looking for you before. You advocating in the defense of this trial was a sudden decision. It seems there may be some confusion about procedures today. No, I was reading it right. As a result. Who is this man? I feel as though I've seen him at university before. I see. I'll go at once then. I shall accompany you. Alright then, Ryunosuke, I'll see you in the courtroom. Yes. Thanks, Kazuma. Dot 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 dot. Guys, thank you for the hype train. Level 2. Dot 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 dot. This is awkward, boy, is it? If I may. Yes, sorry. You must be the defendant. Ryunosuke, I believe. Yes, that's right. He's such a panicky little boy. My name is Yujin Mikotoba. Yep, I'm gonna butcher all the names, just throwing that out there. Brief statement, staple apology on everything. I'm a professor of Forcenetic Medicine. Ah, Professor Mikotoba. Heard that name from Kazuma before. As I recall, he's been pushing to get the government to agree to Kazuma studying abroad. Asogi has told me about you. You and he are best friends, I understand. Best friends is important. Besties. As such, I feel you should know. Know what? Well, as you've no doubt heard, Asogi has been granted permission to go and study in Great Britain. However, if he should fail to defend you in today's trial, he won't get to. I'm afraid that permission will be revoked and never granted again. That seems a little steep. What? Ah, as I suspected, you were unaware of this. That seems like a steep thing. I had a feeling Asogi might have chosen not to tell you. He's agreed to defend me, knowing that if he fails, his dreams will be shattered. He believes in you. But I don't understand. Why would the government do such a thing? The administration has chosen from a large number of applicants for overseas study. Very difficult to persuade them to grant permission, even the most favorable of circumstances. I don't believe it. But I didn't do it, I swear. I'm not a murderer. I just had a gun in my hand in front of somebody who got murdered. I'm sure that's true, nevertheless. I can assure you that proving your innocence will be no easy task. See, there are certain peculiarities about today's trial. Sorry, what do you mean? You'll soon understand once the proceedings get underway. I'm not gonna tell you. No, we gotta get shock factor in court. As these games do. But then what should I do? Well, naturally, I'm not going to suggest doing anything that could lead to a conviction. Right, so as soon as the trial starts, the judge will pose a certain question to the defense. When that happens, you must answer before anyone else. You must say, I do. I will marry the judge. I do? But what will the question be? Surely not. Do you accept the accusations brought before you? Of course not. Defendant. Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once. It would seem our surreptitious discussions are to be cut short. So allow me to surmise. Kazuma must not be the defense lawyer in this trial. Of course, as the defendant, the final decision is yours. What are you waiting for? Do you want to be found guilty for failing to appear? Get moving. There's no point in anyone advocating for the likes of you anyway. It wasn't me, it was the one-armed man. This is if the trial goes badly. Kazuma's dreams of starting abroad are over. And what's more, I'll be found guilty of murder. And so, with absolutely no idea of what lay ahead, I embark on that unforgettable trial. Dun dun dun. My one and only chance of proving my innocence. The trial that would decide my destiny. I gotta click. So this is a courtroom? Supreme Court of Judicature. Is that a word? I mean, it's here, so it must be, but tune in next time to find out what happens. No court in the land has more power. I don't much like the look of those people sitting in the public gallery. Lots of military and other uniforms in there. How is his headband waving in the wind of the still courtroom? It's his magical aura causing the magical wind. The powers that be have demanded that this be a secret trial. Why is it secret? A secret trial? Trial that's closed to ordinary members. People from the general public can't come in. Only military and government officials may attend. What? But why? It'll become clear in time. But for now, please share things with me. I'm the one on trial. You need to concentrate. It's about to begin. Secret trial through the courtroom. Oh my... Okay. Pause for a second, because the dude who is not the defense lawyer, the other lawyer, looks the same as every other beginner trial figure out how this game works dude, except he's feudal Japanese dressed up, and that's hilarious. And I guess this is young version, kind of the old judge you get in the other games, which is hilarious. Is that a cocktail shaker on the judge's desk? I'm hoping it's just water and that's a cup on top, but who knows? Alright, we are now here at the trial. Prosecution is ready, Your Excellency. So normally just take the top knot off, and that's who you normally fight against in the first things. So that's great. I love it. As is the defense. Before we begin, there is one point of order I would like to confirm. Yesterday evening, the defense made a last-minute request for a change of advocate. This is correct, Your Excellency. I made the request myself. Look at our little, horribly stunned little boy. I love him. Normal procedures for the defendant's advocacy to be decided 2 days before trial. As this is an unusual circumstance, I'm obliged to ask the final confirmation now. Who advocates for the defendant in this trial? Ah, that's the question I'm supposed to answer for. I must say I do. This is it. This must be the question. Who's going to defend me? But then if I say I do, it means I have to defend myself. I need to answer quickly. What should I do? Answer I do. Your Excellency, no confirmation is needed. As I'm standing here beside the defendant, I hope it's clear who will— Oh! Look at him raise his little hand! What is the meaning of this unruly outburst? I would like to inform the court that I, Ryunosuke, will be defending myself. You'll be what? What are you playing at? Professor Mikotoba told me everything just now before the trial. He did what? He said that your dreams of studying abroad would be dashed if you were to lose. How sad. It means you don't have faith in me. You think I won't be able to get you off? Phrasing? I'm an adult, I swear. No, that's not it, really. It's just... Well, on the off chance that things don't go well for me, I couldn't bear to be the reason that you didn't get me off. Yes. I knew that's how you'd feel, which is exactly why I decided not to tell you. Professor shouldn't have stuck his nose in. Very well. The court hereby recognizes that the defendant's desire to advocate for himself in today's trial. Well, well. Does the accused admit defeat already? Renouncing his own counsel. Really?
Objection!
Heck yeah, objection. Make no mistake, counsel. I'll be allowed to sit here and help him the entire time. Really shows that the defendant's innocence is so apparent he's confident he can speak for himself. Isn't that so? He looks so confident, I swear. Huh? Oh yeah, sure. Exactly what I wasn't thinking. I'm not confident at all. In fact, my mind's a complete blank. Ah, perfect. He'll fit right in. I realize you're in charge now, but still, try not to look so bewildered. Humph. Well, for a mere university student to be brought before the Supreme Court, you must have perpetuated a most heinous crime. Hey, wait, heinous? I forget how that's actually said. Heinous. Heinous. English language is hard. As you are no doubt aware, this is the Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. Accordingly, the very highest standards of conduct are expected from all present. Do I make myself clear, defendant? Yes, Your Excellency. It is therefore my duty to assess your competence of the task you have undertaken. Yet, to be fair, 2 people have been like, we'll explain later, on a case that we're about to be involved in. And now we've just been like, nah, I got this. And we have no idea about all these little dumb idiosyncrasies that no one would tell us about. Test me. My competence? What does that mean? Exactly that. You have none. Poor sweet baby. He's questioning your ability to do the job. Well, he can't be questioning it more than I am. I love this boy. Let's start with the very simplest of questions. Why are we here? Oh, yes? Kindly state before the court the name of the victim in this case. Oh no. I don't know that. It's Professor something. Oh no. But, wait. I only saw it once. I'm so nervous I can't even remember that. What was it again? Ryunosuke. Really? Let me guess, your mind's gone blank. You know me so well. X for history. Which button is X? I've been hitting A. Go to the court record. Ah. That's not gonna be in there. Nope. Options. Nope, I'm gonna have to wait for him to tell me what button it is. I can exit the court record with the press of RB. This one? That one. All in there. I just have to press RB for the court record. Alright, there's no time to lose. This button. This is the list of evidence you've collected. It's a whole 2 things long. Now try switching to people instead with RB. Find details about the victim in here. When you're done, just press B to go back. It's not a button on a PS5 controller, but we can pretend. Alright. John H. Wilson, victim of the case, he was visiting professor of medicine from the British Empire. He's my best friend, and despite being a student, a qualified defense lawyer as well. Who would appear to have little love for the changes the cultural reform has brought about. Okay. So remember, everything to do with the current case can be found in the court record. Hey, better not keep His Excellency waiting any longer. Go on. Find the victim in the people section. Then press Y to present it. Boop. Yes! Victim's name was Dr. John H. Wilson. Well, at least you can remember the name of an esteemed member of your own university who died in front of you, which should be pretty dramatic. Dr. Wilson was a visiting professor from England invited to UMA University 3 years ago. Indeed, which is the reason why this case has such a profound implications. The British Empire is at present the country's most valuable foreign ally. And as most of you will be aware, we have just signed a new treaty together after lengthy negotiations. There can't be anyone who hasn't heard of the Anglo-Japanese Treaty of Friendship and Navigation. And yet, despite these delicate circumstances, the blood of an Englishman has been spilt on our soil. You two are both undergraduates of the Imperial Yume University, are you not? Murdering a professor from the very institution that provides your education. Have you no honor? But I didn't do it. This case is coming under great scrutiny from our allies on the other side of the world. The court therefore wishes for a speedy resolution to this matter. Habumpha. In other words, our feeble government is scared of upsetting England's policymakers. And you're a convenient and expendable scapegoat to blame for this crime. That's why this trial has these unusual peculiarities. Is it? Exactly, our government needs to convict somebody as quickly as possible. All because the victim was an Englishman. Yes, Dr. Wilson was an Englishman. Yes, good. But nationalities and treaties won't make any difference for me here. The fact is, I was there at the scene of the crime, with a gun in my hand. Oh dear, look at the time. I'd better be going. Alright, I'll see you later. I think I'll stay here and enjoy this place a little longer. Good idea. After all, blah blah blah, we've already read this. See you in English class, bye! The British Empire. Wow, it's incredible to think. Dot, 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 dot. Wait. There's an English person. In that man at university. I'm sure he's visiting professor from Great Britain. I don't know his name, but still, I should go and say hello. So we went over to the professor's table. And introduced myself to Dr. Wilson. Like a good boy. Now then, let me pose my next question to you. Yes, Your Excellency. How did this professor of medicine, Dr. John H. Wilson, lose his life? State before the court the cause of death. The cause of death. Well, obviously that was, Ryunosuke. Remember that in court, every assertion must be backed up by evidence. Why evidence? But how? The court record, you dum-dum. Find the piece of evidence that shows the professor's cause of death, and select present. Is this button? Caused by loss of blood from a gunshot to the chest. Bullet did not pass through the victim's body. Yatta! Yes! Why is it yes? I mistake that. According to this document, the victim suffered a hemorrhagic death to gunshot trauma. Learn to read, you imbecile. That's the post-mortem report, I take it. Sorry, yes, that's right. That's a post-mortem report. In the West, a doctor dissects corpses to identify the cause of death in an autopsy. But here in Japan, a police officer merely inspects the body and draws conclusions that way. Oh, I see. As long as I'm not going to be tested on any of this later, you might be. Raven, that was my thought as well. I was like, if it didn't go through the body, then it was shot from further away. Therefore, us shooting him at point blank shouldn't have worked. Gun bullet should have gone right through then. This is a so-called photographic print of the scene of the crime. Oh boy, a photo. Or it is a very small caliber. Fair, it was a tiny gun. As you can clearly discern scorch marks around the bullet hole produced by the powder explosion. Which would mean it was a close shot. In other words, we should assume that the victim was shot at close range, because gunpowder got into with clothes. The court will accept this modern scientific evidence into the record. Hooray! Photograph of the victim. So that's a photographic print. Well, that's something I've never seen before. It's clearly superior to drawing. Boy, is it. Very well, I'm satisfied with your answers. Your 2 whole answers. Let's start the trial. Certainly, Your Excellency. So without further ado, in order to better appraise the court with the facts of the case, the prosecution hereby calls its first witness, who was there at the scene of the crime when it happened. This is it then. I think I may have worked out what the professor had in mind. The professor? You mean Dr. Miko Toba? Clearly, you're the defense lawyer today, not me, but that doesn't mean. Well, I can still act as your assistant, which means he gets to stay in the box and tell us how to do stuff. Yay! Ah, of course. When he was speaking with me before, he simply said, "You must not be the defense lawyer." He really has been sticking his oar in. That's a phrase I don't think I've ever heard. Maybe, but any help you can give me would be greatly appreciated, because we're a dum-dum. My first piece of advice is, rein that crazy look of bewilderment and control the cold sweats. Never. Absolutely not. Only if you rein in that crazy headband and control the cold stares first. Witness, state your name and occupation for the court, please. Oh, it's a waiter. Of course. My name is Satoru Hasonaga, maybe. I'm the head waiter at a Western-style restaurant called Le Carnaval. Oh, he coughed. Oh, he had blood. Are you alright? You seem to be coughing up some It's a regular occurrence. It doesn't really bother me. It bothers me. Please go to a doctor. Well, it really should. Yep. As everyone knows, the capital's southeastern quarter was developed for foreign visitors some years ago. It's become a very fashionable district now, full of hotels to accommodate overseas guests. This grim crime occurred in one of the district's so-called restaurants. An eatery 3 days ago. Understood. Asogana-san, would you please kindly tell the court everything you can about the incident? True, he could have TB, which would be real bad for him to be a waiter. Let's infect the court. Let's infect anyone he serves food to. At once, sir. No pitty interjections from the aspiring lawyer boy, please. Oh, perspiring maybe, but aspiring? I love this dumb game. Just after 2 p.m. on the day in question. We have few diners at the time. The lunchtime rush was over, and there were only 3 tables still occupied. That fits in with my memory of it too. There was hardly anyone else in the place. That was when I was in the kitchen, putting away crockery and cutlery. A gunshot rang out, so I hurried to the dining area to see what happened. I found the victim, an English gentleman, slumped over in his chair. Standing immediately beside him, gun in hand, was the accused university student.
Yes!
Yes, that's right. Hold on, let me clarify something. While I did pick up a gun I found lying on the floor beside the professor, why? Why? I didn't shoot him.
Objection!
I believe I asked you to refrain from petty interjections. The court wishes to listen to their witness's report of what he saw, you amateur. But... the next time you interrupt at an inappropriate time, you'll be penalized! Don't worry, you'll have a chance to fight back. For now, we gotta listen, then I can do interjections. If I may confirm 1 point, waiter. Dippy. Come here. Come here. Don't need to bark. Barney baby boy. Look! Entire chat is now giving you the puppy barks. You don't have to bark. They're barking for you. Elo reacted to Dippy barks. His trauma's coming back. Dippy! Elo remembers you. Even through audio. Okay, anyways. Standing beside the victim with a gun in his hand was the same man we are seeing here today in court. Yes, without question. I see. And apart from the accused, was there anyone else standing beside the victim? No. There was no one else around the table but the deceased Englishman and the university student. Huh? Wait, what did he just say? Objection. There was no one else around that table? What's the matter? That's just not right. When I went over to Dr. Wilson to say hello, there was a lady. There was a woman sitting opposite him at his table. Really? That's not something the waiter could have missed. I've been warned about interjecting, but still, what should I do? Interject!
Yes!
Dippy! Stop. Come on, go lay down. Go to your bed. No one wants to hear you. I mean, chat wants to hear you, but... lay down. Lay down. Boy. Dippy would like to interject. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone that day. Sure of it. There was a lady sitting with him at the same table.
Objection!
Objection! Dear me, what are we going to do with you? Jem, thank you for the 100 biddies for snacks for Dippy. Yeah, we'll go get him something tomorrow. With your blatant disregard of court proceedings, I'm beginning to wonder if you're not a fraud. Could it be that the accused, this mere student, is not a real lawyer after all? You bet. But I'm sure of what I saw. Is there any chance you're mistaken? Perhaps your memory of events is hazy? No. The deceased gentleman came to dine alone. Don't believe it. I actually have a rough plan of the restaurant as it was that day. Please have a look if you'd like to. Let me see. A sketch of the establishment's layout drawn by yourself, I presume? That's right. I'm afraid I used the back of my business card. It was a turbulent situation. However, as you can see, the gentleman in question was seated alone. Can I? Because all I can see is one red X. There are no people on this for me. No, don't want to touch your bloody business card. Clearly a very conscientious waiter. Thank you, sir. Court will take this plan and add it to the court record as evidence. Oh, well, is there a problem? Add the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Why don't you want us having your business card? What was that about? He's been completely calm and collected until now. Something seems to have shaken him. Alright, you can stop coughing, sir. So, the court has now heard the 3/6 of the case. 3/6? Yes, the moment the gunshot was heard in the restaurant, the only person in close proximity to the victim was a defendant on trial today. It would seem we are looking at the black and white case here. Can I see the back of the business card, though? I flip this around. I don't know what these words are. I was hoping I could see the back of it. But I'm probably getting ahead of myself. Ooh. He was eating with a fork. What a weirdo. Anyways. I can start making the same movement with my arms when I want to make a point. Right arm out, left arm out, smacking the table. Defendant. Yes, Your Excellency. If you admit your guilt at this stage, the court is willing to look mercifully upon you. In other words, you may have some small reprieve in terms of your inevitable punishment. Called this waiter as an unsworn witness in order to explain the details of the case to the court. But I must warn the defense, if you are determined to pursue matters further in this trial. The prosecution has evidence from sworn witnesses who were present at the scene of the crime. There was no one else in the room. How was anyone else able to come forward? I have questions. What do you think I should do? What do you mean? Well, I'm gonna be found guilty one way or another, it seems. Wouldn't it be sensible to plead guilty at that stage and hope for a more lenient sentence? Everyone keeps telling me that this trial is unusual, about these peculiarities. You've said it, Professor Mikotava said it, so has the judge and the prosecution. I'm scared of what lies ahead if I push this. As I said from the outset, I believe you're innocent. I trust you. Just don't pick up guns at murder scenes anymore. You're now willing to throw that trust back in my face? Is that it? Huh? If the accused is in fact innocent, then a defense lawyer is duty-bound to prove that innocence by whatever means necessary. Are you just gonna abandon that duty? Are you gonna give up on yourself? You'll never stop me from picking up guns at murder scenes. Just don't do it. Hey, chat. Just don't. Little for you, the 14 of you watching, don't do it. Leave it be. Ooh. The defense pleads not guilty. I pick up bloody knife. No! No weapons at murder scenes. Leave them be. Alright, bring out your witnesses. We'll just see how decisive this evidence really is. I provide. You want to provide a bloody axe to the murder scene? Y'all worry me with how many weapons you're just pulling out your butts. Alright, prosecutor, what's his face? Please continue with the proceedings. Well, you were warned. Young can be so reckless. You know, many call me a saint. But I can be a devil when I want to be. Shut up. In a few short moments from now, that dumbstruck young mouth of yours will be silenced forever. Prosecution calls its next witnesses. Witnesses? You calling twins to the stand? Witnesses at once. Are we calling two people up at the same time? That's not how witnessing works. Witnesses, please kindly state your names and occupations for the court. Yes, sir. The Great Nippon Imperial Army Sergeant. Yes, no, sir. Reporting for duty, sir. Myself, I find employ as the purveyor of fine articles of antiquity from the effervescent of our nation Nippon, and conduct my trade from Rasute, a humble premises in the 2nd district. Kiryu Kurukudo, yep, KK. KK Slider is here now. He's just older and wobblier and human. Yep, that's what we're going with. An antique dealer and a soldier. What an unusual pairing. Both of these gentlemen were present at the restaurant on the day in question. It must be the diners at the other table that the waiter mentioned. Myself, I habitually take tea at the most exquisite aroma at the establishment in question, always post-noon. And not infrequently converse with interested parties regarding the curios which I make my business. I can't understand a word of what that old man is saying. He's an antique dealer. Sounds like he's a regular. He seeks out potential customers who have an interest in antiques and tries to sell his wares to them. Thank you. He's a curio coot. He obviously targets La Carnivella because it's a high-class restaurant. Right, I see. Although, to be honest, that sergeant looks more like he'd be a seller rather than a buyer. Now, you both witnessed the precise moment of this atrocious incident. Is that correct? Affirmative. The enemy unit was seen attacking the foreigner in what can only be described as an act of war, sir. It was that black uniformed rogue infantryman over there who unloaded his firearm, sir. Was there just a baby sound? Am I the only one that heard that? That sounded like a baby sound. This man's as impossible to understand as the other. But I'm almost sure I heard a strange noise during that last thing he said. Ha ha! So this is the decisive evidence that the prosecution was threatening. The soldier is claiming he has a baby on his back. He has a baby on his back. That's what the cloth on his front is holding. Ah. Claiming that he saw the precise moment you shot the victim dead. Well, are you starting to feel uncomfortable? I was feeling uncomfortable from the start. Now the court will hear your formal testimony, please. You state everything you saw at the precise moment of the incident occurred. Yes, sir. Stand by. Yeah, baby. I'm right. There's a baby behind him. Unsavory memories of that most acerbic afternoon. Since when do we ever do a dual witness testimony? I was ingesting a regulation beefsteak from the restaurant while having a tactical discussion with the old man. Myself, I was extolling the virtues of a particularly fine golden curio to the military gentleman. At that precise moment, a firearm was discharged. I observed the enemy's actions with my own eyes. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the Englishman, and from the back, that cowardly little weasel. Well, that's already wrong, because it's from the front and it didn't go all the way through. I was on my hands and knees investigating the whereabouts of my mysteriously absconded precious curio. Was your precious curio a gun by chance? You there, Sergeant Nosa, actually witnessed the vital moment. You saw the split second when the defendant fired the weapon at the victim. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. That wicked university cadet, sir. The cruel and unforgivable enemy. Why do you have a knife? This shouldn't be allowed in a courtroom. Times we live in, when the English gentleman may be assailed in the broad light of day. What is happening? Or you just pulled a knife in a courtroom. This is ridiculous. I didn't shoot anyone. Yes, it's really true. All I did was pick up the gun that I saw laying on the floor. Like any normal person would do. After I said hello to Dr. Wilson, I went back to my table and sat drinking some coffee. Then when I'd finished, I got up from my seat to leave the restaurant. When I noticed an English-made gun next to the chair where the professor was sitting. I thought perhaps the professor had dropped it. So I bent down, and just as I was picking it up, bang! Oh, if that's the truth, there was obviously a criminal on the scene somewhere. And somewhere in these two witnesses' testimonies, there's a clue as to who that criminal was. I must exercise my right to cross-examine the witnesses. Cross-examine? Did the baby do it? Who knows? It's possible. Do it now. We don't know what the golden curio that the dude was trying to sell was, and suddenly it was missing. And there's just a gun on the floor. Don't know where that plays in. There's no room for doubt in the testimony of these witnesses. The defendant is clearly guilty. There's also just a missing lady so far as well. We don't know where she is. The golden gun, Cuban James Bond theme. It's time to bring this despicable student to justice. Certainly, the testimony the court has just heard eliminates any vestiges of doubt. No, it doesn't. Therefore, it is my grave duty to declare the verdict of the trial no. I mishold it. Why is it yes? That feels weird. The name of the Emperor... What in the name of the Emperor is the meaning of this outburst? The defense demands the right for cross-examination. Eh? How dare you demand your right? Dear me, dear me. Let me guess. The headband boy next door told me to do it. How pathetic. Raising her hand like we're in elementary school. Yup. How did he know? Because you're a dum-dum. The prosecution objects. This is a clear waste of time. The defendant obviously has no experience. How could he possibly carry out a cross-examination?
Objection!
The defense is exerting its right to a cross-examination. Whether or not you think he's capable of it is irrelevant. Gulpe. Cosm is so commanding. Very well. Let the defense conduct a cross-examination of the witness. Alright, this is where the battle really begins. But I don't even know what I have to do in cross-examination. So commanding, he can get you off. Look, there's a lot of hidden sexual tension in these games, for sure. Isn't it obvious? You have to expose the lies. How? With evidence! You didn't fire the gun, which means that soldier has to be a lie. Well, yes, but it's just a case of proving it. And you gotta do that with evidence. Right. Evidence. The stuff in the court record. All you need to do is present some decisive and indisputable evidence that proves the witness is lying. Now let's go! Oh, his slaps are... He looked at his slap like he was like, why was it not so big? I love this game. Just the quick little, wait, what? Why does it quite as loud? Oh. It's the little things in these games. Yeah, you're allowed to do that. That's fine. You observed it with your own eyes, but that's not the problem statement. This is the problem statement. Can I press?
Yes!
Press. I don't know if this is gonna get me in trouble. Had just about enough of your sauce, cadet. Who else do you see around here in a black uniform, there's someone standing right next to me who fits that description as well, but, I know it's evidence. I just wanted to see if pressing did anything. It was you, you little weasel. You unloaded the firearm on that man. From behind his back, which I did not. Nor did the thing in the picture do. What is it? I'm not quite sure. I am... Something that the surgeon just said, but I can't put my finger on it. Something's playing on my mind. In that case, check back over the details of the evidence. And if you find an inconsistency there, that will... I can do stuff. Present the evidence by opening your... By you getting your sword out. Thrust it in the witness's face and make him choke on it. What is happening? Hey... hey, Kazuma? You really gotta work on your wording. Your phrasing, sir. Fetish play. Alright, you were... Yes, okay, I can go back. That's nice. Normally, you're not allowed to do that. Okay. Whoop, present. This button? Excuse me. Why is it not? Did I click off? Oh, I clicked off. Nope, I didn't actually want to. I just clicked off the game. Ta-da! He was shot in the front.
Yes!
Butthead. Stop raising your little hand. Everyone's like, yeah, okay. You just shouted yes. What are you playing at, cadet? What's the meaning of this subordination? Thrusting some photographic print in my mustache. Inconsistency, sir. I mean, yes. There's a clear inconsistency here. What nonsense. What can this print possibly tell us that we don't already know? Well, obviously that, I know what I want to say, but the words just won't come out of my mouth. I think this proves beyond any doubt, Your Excellency, that there is no place for an amateur student here in this grand courtroom. This is so frustrating. Big punch. Oh, please. Really, this doesn't require an explanation. It couldn't be more plain. Spell it out would be an insult to the court. Kazuma, what? What are you talking about? It's apparent from a single glance at this photographic print presented by the defense that there's a clear discrepancy here with the sergeant's statement. Get the stinking mouse off. Thanks. What? Sergeant. Yes, sir. What, sir? The statement you just made was this. The black uniformed varsity cadet fired on the English civilian, and from the back. Yes, sir. Affirmative, sir. I witnessed the crime with my own military-grade eyes, sir.
Yes!
But no, that just can't be. And why not? Because of the wonderful things he does. Ryunosuke, come on. Take a close look at the print. Victim, Dr. Wilson, died from a bullet wound to the chest. Ah. Sergeant, according to your witness statement, the culprit was shot the victim from behind. And that is an obvious discrepancy here. Well, how do you explain it? Oh, it's a baby. Well, please don't push the baby down like that. What the? What was that? Something just popped up from behind his back, but he pushed it down again. Certainly, there's a clear discrepancy with the facts here. Would you not agree, Sergeant? Yes, sir. At this juncture, that would appear to be indisputable. Until the moment I heard the firearm discharge, my eyes were firmly fixed on the delicious steak, sir. What? The last testimony of the court has proven one thing beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness, Sergeant, did not see the defendant firing a gun at all. Look, that's absurd. I think the conclusion we must draw is simple. There is no place for an amateur prosecutor here in this grand courtroom. Haha, turning the words. Look at the baby. There's been a complete turnabout in the mood of this trial just from that one discrepancy. This is what being an ace attorney is all about. I don't know if it's an ace. I don't know if we can apply ace to the word yet. But I definitely saw him. That university cadet there, he was pointing the firearm directly at the victim's back. Well, that's a problem.
Yes!
But I never fired the gun. All I did was pick it up off the floor. And you, old man, you didn't see the moment the victim was shot then either? Myself, I have already been quite clear. The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor. Too busy on the floor? Sorry, but what were you doing? Hunting for the treasure. Treasure? Was it a gun? Indeed! My prized coin. On each occasion when I visit that restaurant, it is my habitude to place in my bosom pocket a particular trinket of interest from my shop, in the hope of meeting a rich diner who would like to buy it from you. On the day under scrutiny, it was to the military man that I proffered my Hoy treasure. Believed that he would purchase such a rare find. I did not, but I was presented with little alternative. And then, after averting my eyes to the briefest moments, there was no more. It simply vanished. It vanished? Hunting around under the table I was, in case mayhap it had fallen there, and then it happened. You heard the gunshot, you mean? Indeed I did. But I heeded it not, for I was concerned only with finding my absconded treasure. Nothing could distract me. Out of interest, did you find the coin in the end? No. I see. That lamentable day, the precious Hoy Kaban was lost to me. No doubt some unscrupulous scoundrel pocketed the prize coin for himself. As I'm sure everyone present is aware, this case demands a swift and decisive resolution. Our government has promised to send a full report to the Great Britain by telegraph this very afternoon. That's a really fast trial for murder. Nevertheless, the witness testimony in court has just heard was inconclusive, no matter how subversive our government feels it must be to the British. It would be unforgivable to deliver a verdict on this trial right now. What is your position, prosecutor? Worry not, your excellency. The defendant may have fled a tiger in front of the gate, but he will find a wolf at the back. Oh boy. My witnesses have further testimony to make. Explain. Upon hearing their next statements, it will become abundantly clear that there is only one person who could have possibly committed this despicable crime. The equally despicable defendant, Ryunosuke. Your lying witnesses will definitely clear things up, right? He really seems to have a despicable opinion of you, doesn't he? Very well, the court invites the witnesses to testify again. You will thoroughly explain the reasoning behind the prosecution's allegation. Is that clear? As clear as Kikuru something glass. I hope it's clear. Yes, sir. At once, sir. Awaiting signal to testify, sir. Excuse me, but there's something or someone peeking out over your shoulder, I think. Affirmative. The newest member of the Nosa family to rise up through the ranks, sir. It would seem those straps are a sign of the surgeon being too strapped to afford a nanny. I do tension. Your father is about to quell the enemy. Watch and learn, my boy. Even if what I saw wasn't the precise moment that the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. No? Yes, pointing his gun at the foreign man he was, that lad in black, that's much myself I did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. Indeed, alone he was, the Englishman, dining all by himself. Therefore, none other than the black uniformed cadet could have dispatched the Englishman. Over and out. Why are we allowing the witnesses who perjured themselves to continue to testify? Because why not? Wait, that's nonsense. The victim, Dr. Wilson, wasn't alone at all. Please, enough of these outbursts already. But there was a woman, there was a young woman at his table. You must have seen her. Everyone there must have seen her.
Objection!
If you call yourself a lawyer, then we will respect the rules of the court and speak accordingly. We're not here to listen to your fantasies. It is evident beyond all reasonable doubt that the victim was alone at the time of the incident. The prosecution has photographic evidence of this fact. Why is the chair facing away from the table? That's been bothering me this entire time. Is this a photographic print of the scene of the crime? Alright, did we see anything wrong aside from it's sitting away from the table? There's only one set of everything. I don't see anything. Alright. Of the table of which the victim was dying, taken by the investigator immediately after the incident. As it can plainly be seen, there is only one place set. Certainly based on the appearance of this print, it would be reasonable to conclude that the victim was not in the company of anybody else. This doesn't make any sense. Court will add this new photographic evidence to the record. Hooray, print. Actually, I want to check something real quick. I don't understand. Wine glass thing. Okay, that's all in the same order. Never mind. I wasn't sure if it was different. Is there less steak? Or is that just the angle? I think that's just the angle. Why would that be weird if somebody got murdered and then somebody ate more steak? I think it's just the angle. I don't know if it's the table behind or if he's just turned around. Because, like, it looks like he was maybe at this table, but his chair was just turned around, or the tables are so darn close and he had just taken the chair from the other table. We'll see. I wish I could see the other side of that business card because I feel like there's going to be something about that. What's going on here? It's just not possible that no one else saw that woman. Where's the lady? The waiter before said the same thing. He maintains that Dr. Wilson came to the restaurant alone as well. Unless she's a ghost. But that's not true. I saw her. I swear that I saw a woman with him. It would seem we'll be able to telegraph their report to Great Britain on time after all. The witness testimonies that we have just heard leave no further room for doubt. These very sensitive political times, as we know, the ink is still fresh on the treaty with Great Britain. To think that I will have contributed to the enmity of these two great empires in an honor. Poor baby boy. How can this be happening? I have an idea of maybe what she could be based on other games, but who knows? The judge is really ready to rule. Stand tall, Ryunosuke. It's not over yet. What? What you say is true, then there's something going on here behind the scenes. Take your sword out, and now is your chance to expose it, to draw out the truth in your cross-examination. I'm not sure I heard something, so I might have to do some pressing to figure out what the heck it actually wants me to do. The defense is entitled to cross-examination of the witnesses, but make it quick, understood? Nope, I'm gonna press every statement, actually. He's not? Okay. The true culprit. I'm just gonna quickly, let's see. I'm a student. I always wear this on my jacket, which is like a thing that everyone always have. Death occurred a little after 2 p.m. and was the cause of loss of blood from a gunshot through the chest. Photographic print from the victim. He was shot in the front. This is the drawing of everything, which makes it look like his chair wasn't, like he wasn't sitting at the table here. It looks like he was definitely sitting at this table here because there's 2 chairs here. And like the chair he would have to have been sitting at would have been this one to be sitting at this table. I don't think it's a case of his chair got moved. He seems to have been flipped around, which is weird. I just don't know why yet. And then we have the picture of the table. So I'm just gonna have to press their statements because I'm not exactly sure what the wrong phrase is right now. And who I was in the precise moment the firearm was discharged, it's almost the same thing. I'm just gonna look through him real quick. Pointing his gum at the foreign man was that young lad in black. That much myself I did see. Furthermore, a visual search of the premises at the time confirmed that we were the only personnel present. No! The waiter said he was in there at that current moment. The waiter said he was there. So should I maybe be presenting that? Are the squares with the little leggy meaning that somebody was there? Like, is this a person? Is that a person? I'm gonna present this and we're gonna go for, I might get a penalty, but I don't care. I'm gonna present this.
Yes!
Nope, that was not incorrect. Or that was not correct. I should just press it. I should have pressed it. But that... Yeah, no, I'm gonna get a strike. Neat, neat. Pull yourself together. You look as though your eyes are about to pop out of your head. Boy, are they. I should have pressed the statement. Sometimes you just gotta press, and I forget this. Press! Must not have noticed someone else at Dr. Wilson's table. There was a lady there. Or we're going to talk about the lady. As you have been at pains to point out time and time again, I'm growing a callus in my ear. And yet, no one else appears to have ever caught even a glimpse of this woman. Only there had been more people dining there at the time, then somebody else would have noticed her. Fortunately, it was already past 2 p.m. when it happened. Quiet time between lunch and dinner in any restaurant. I know, of course the place was almost empty. As you'd expect. 2 p.m. is neither here nor there in terms of a time to eat. I wonder if there was a reason why the victim was eating at that time of day, and why he was alone. Yes, Your Excellency, there was indeed a reason. There was? Aha! This was found in the victim's jacket pocket. What is that? The medical report card. It seemed the victim had an appointment at a clinic prior to visiting the restaurant. Hata Clinic? It's almost like the Hati Clinic that's in the other games. 19th of November, noon to past 1 p.m. The very day of the incident. The victim went to a late lunch following his appointment. The explanation couldn't be more simple. Prosecution feels no need to submit this as evidence before, but it really has no bearing on the case. I wonder. What do you think? Well, is it hard to see how it could be related, really? Remember, you can request for it to be entered in the court record as evidence, if you think it could be useful. I asked, sure, why not?
Yes!
Raising his baby little hand. If I may, I'd like to ask for the medical report card to be submitted as evidence. On what grounds? Court has already heard conclusive witness testimony. Not to mention that the victim's movements prior to his arrival at the restaurant are of no concern.
Objection!
No. Whether or not they are of concern is up to us to decide. We have the right to explore all possible venues. I beg your pardon. You have no authority to refuse a perfectly valid request for submission of evidence. Very well, the court will grant the defense's request. Actually, these days are forever asserting their rights. It's the most disturbing trend. Oh no. Officer, kindly add the victim's medical report card to the court record. Hooray! What we need right now is new clues. We have to explore things from every possible angle, even if they don't seem relevant at first. Right, I hear you. You can conspire to prolong this trial as long as you like, but it's an everyday festival already for you. Or perhaps you'd forgotten that these witness testimonies leave no room for doubt, except they've already lied. Feel free to reiterate the accused. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna press everything. Like, unless we're gonna assume we could throw it on the other man. Alright, so let's press that other statement. I also want to see... Alright, there's no examining.
Yes!
So you actually saw that with your own eyes, did you? The victim, Dr. Wilson, dining alone. That I did. Forgive me for the position I will place you in. The testimonies of the old man, the soldier, and the waiter all agree on that point. Isn't that interesting? And let us not forget the incontestable evidence. Yes, because what? There was one play setting? I feel like the old guy was like, yeah, no, I didn't care. Where's my coin? Ah. I was on the floor. As can clearly be seen, there is only a single beefsteak on the victim's table, a meal for one. Yeah, but what the hell is the chair doing? No. An antique stealer, the sergeant and the waiter who testified before. Not impossible, they're all lying. But if so, then why? I'm perfectly honest, I have absolutely no idea. Alright, we already pressed that statement.
Yes!
Let's press this. May be true that I was holding a gun at that point in time, but I've told you already, that's only because I picked it up off the floor. Well, obviously, as the culprit, that's the only way you could explain it away. I just finished drinking my coffee and I was about to leave the restaurant when... I noticed a gun on the floor at Dr. Wilson's feet, so I picked it up. And then exactly at that moment, kabang! A gunshot rang out. Full of events beyond our control, life is. Sorry, what do you mean? In your case, you found a pistol on the floor and picked it up, which precipitated this testing predicament. Whereas conversely, I failed to pick up the Koban from the floor and find myself in an equally testing predicament as a result. ... Anyways, the fact remains, myself, I did see you. With pistol in hand, standing over the foreigner. Alright, I want to double check. Did I miss anything? Like, I feel like they gave us this, so it's gotta be something I can use. But I also can't examine it, which is kind of bugging me. We already pressed that one. Can you go back to his previous statement where he never looked up from searching the coin? I don't know.
Yes!
You're shoot. You're stuck on why are you telling the truth? You're stuck on the selection of text. Dun, 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 dun. Maybe I just need to press every statement. That's sometimes a thing that you have to do. But now I can't remember which ones I've pressed, so both of you just sailed. It's not possible. A waiter whose testimony the court heard earlier clearly stated the same thing. He also said the victim was alone. Right. Precisely, in other words, we are the sole person who saw this phantom lady, but if such a woman were indeed present at the scene, the prosecution demands to see proof. Working on it. And if no such proof exists, prosecution demands that no further mention of this phantom woman be made. Blatant waste of the court's time. There's nothing I can say to that. I think I just need to press every statement. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. We've gleaned some new information now. Ah, okay. I don't feel like it changes much. I can't see that it brings any real discrepancies to light. Wouldn't be so sure. Let me see that medical report card. Okay, there we go. We just advanced the plot. I just had to press. This is a brand new piece of evidence, so perhaps we should examine it in a little more detail. Haha, that's what I wanted. You don't normally get new evidence that doesn't immediately, like, have some kind of bearing to something. Press A and you can take a closer look at the piece in question. Then use the control stick, which totally makes sense to somebody who's definitely not playing a video game. We can examine it from all angles. I can move the crosshairs around to hunt for clues. Crosshairs start to pulsate. Ooh, press A to investigate further. So, partner, I think you should take a closer look at this medical report card. See if there isn't something new to be learned. I'll see what I can do. Thank you, game. Okay. Alright. It says Hata Clinic on this medical report card. I hate clinics almost as much as I hate hospitals and surgeries. Aren't they all the same? When I was 5, I caught the only cold I've ever had in my life. I remember, even though I felt awful already, I had to have this hideous injection in my right arm. I'll never forget it. Not in my whole life. Most people would give their right arm to have only had one cold in their whole life. Anyways, I don't think this is a clinic where they treat people for illnesses like that. Let's keep looking for clues. We don't want to miss anything. I whip it. Aha! Ooh! Alright, so these are assumedly all of his things. I'm going to assume this is the last one. Let's have a look. This is some kind of medical history. Ah, here's an entry for the day the professor was killed. Extraction of molar with topical anesthesia. No steak for him? Yep. I don't think he was supposed to be having steak after having a tooth taken out. Seems so, just before the incident, he'd had a bad tooth removed. Perhaps they used laughing gas. That's the most modern practice for West in the pain relief. Yes, I've heard of this anesthesia. Although it's hard to believe there's anything that can actually stop you from feeling pain. And there's a cautionary note from the medical practitioner as well. Strictly no food or drink besides water for 3 hours post-procedure until anesthetic effects have passed. Aha! Screw you, he couldn't have had that steak. Sounds like information worth bearing in mind. The medical report card's information has been updated in the court record. Yeah, sometimes when you get stuck, just press all the statements and then plot will advance. With this new information, the meaning of that one particular statement totally changes. I think it's time we listen to the testimony again, don't you? Definitely. Same thing. Dining all. I assume it's dining all by himself that I want to press. Think he wasn't allowed to dine. Yes! Think that what are you wittering about? Call yourself a lawyer? I wish I could, but first and foremost here, I'm the accused. Ryunosuke, everyone stumbles on their words occasionally. Under the circumstances, I wouldn't worry about it. You see it quite clearly in that cross examination you just carried out. When you raised your hand straight up like that, so purposefully, you knew exactly what it was you wanted to say. Yes. I don't feel you have to choose your words carefully. Just say what you're thinking. I don't know if we want this smooth-brained boy to do that. This is a medical report card belonging to the victim. I see, and I don't see. What of it, boy? Comparing what is written on this report card with your witness statement. I'm not gonna forever love that animation. Something clearly doesn't add up.
Objection!
Dear me, have you forgotten my words so soon, you amateur? Sorry, what? You are not to interrupt court proceedings with your amateurish drivel. But let's see if I can explain it in words you might understand. It was after 2 p.m. in the afternoon when the victim was murdered at the restaurant. Whatever he may or may not have done before that time is completely irrelevant. Grrr. But that's, Remember, Ryunosuke, you don't have to use clever language or fancy words. Just make your point. Your Excellency, I believe we're finished here. There is certainly no need to prolong this trial further. The witness testimonies the court has heard have been clear and concise. They weren't. We literally caught them in perjury. This medical report card has no bearing on the matter at all, for that simple reason. There is no one besides this pale-faced pupil who possibly could have... Nope, he slapped. He fully slapped. The boy! He made a noise! Medical report card has nothing to do with the case? You really believe that? What? That outburst half petrified me, boy. Of course I believe it. How could it possibly be relevant? Perhaps because Hata Clinic, which issued the report card, is a dental clinic. A dental clinic? Is that supposed to mean something to me? Perhaps if I told you that the victim had just had a tooth extracted. What's this now? And furthermore, if I told you that as a result the victim had been forbidden from eating. Gasp, gasp, gasp. Just what are you trying to say, Cadet? Did you eat the steak, dude? There were bites taken out of the steak, and we know you had your eyes on the steak. Did you eat the steak after a dude got shot? I have questions. He had orders not to eat, so what? It's all written up here. No food or drink other than water for 3 hours at post-procedure while anesthesia wears off. What? No, that can't... What, boy, what? As you just heard, when he was killed sometime shortly after 2 p.m., the victim couldn't have been eating anything at all. No. Additionally, there's more. You assured the court with unwavering self-confidence that the victim was dining alone. Look at him slap. But that cannot possibly be the case. Because the victim, as we now know, had just had one of his teeth extracted and would still experience the after effects of anesthesia. Ah! Even the baby going, expertly done, partner!
Objection!
What is this nonsense? You little upstart. Dun, 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 dun. These are baseless accusations. Just look at this photographic evidence. You can clearly see the plate of food on the victim's table, and it looks like somebody just literally homped on the steak, like just chomped without using the knife that is right there. 2 bites were taken out of the piece that had already been cut. So, like, what's going on there?
Objection!
Use your head. That's the very discrepancy we're talking about. Or can't you follow the logic? How dare you? I think it's fair to say that the tables in the restaurant case have turned. Wouldn't you agree? Tables have turned. Yes, most definitely. Just having undergone some dental surgery, the victim was unable to eat. Which leaves one very crucial conundrum. Who in fact was eating the pictured beef steak? Court will hear the opinion of the defense on this new puzzle. I presume you're ready? No. I'm gonna bring up that woman I'm not supposed to bring up. That means me, doesn't it? Alright, the answer to this question is going to be pivotal. This is the start of you turning this trial around. Show them what you're made of. Got it. So, the person eating the steak at the victim's tables must have been the victim himself, me, the 2 witnesses, and as of yet unknown third party. I'm assuming it's the as of yet unknown third party that he really wants to talk about. But part of me also wonders if it's the 2 witnesses, seeing as there's 2 bites of steak taken. But boop, boop, boop. Obviously, it can only be someone who was sitting at the professor's table.
Objection!
You will not let this go, will you? There was no such person. There was, because I saw her. When the incident occurred, we know that the victim couldn't have been eating anything. And we have evidence of a half-eaten steak on his table. Therefore, only one logical conclusion is that somebody else there was eating it. We have strong evidence to support our assertion. It's clear that these witnesses' testimonies are unreliable. If the court decides to push through a ruling at this stage, we will lodge a formal complaint with the Ministry of Justice and pursue a fair retrial relentlessly. Are you insane? You would take on the government? Don't worry, counsel. I love that, like, he clearly takes his gestures from this boy, and then that passes down through the families and whatnot, because we're currently playing as descendant of Phoenix Wright. And he has all these gestures, and it's cute. Makes me happy. What do you mean? I have issue with them. Those 2 witnesses in the stand. Why there's two? We'll never know. What are you talking about? We've demonstrated with evidence that the victim was not alone. If it now turns out the two of you deliberately lied while giving your testimonies, obviously you will be charged with perjury. Perjury? And since this is a murder trial, you will also be deemed complicit in the killing. Complicit in murder? No! Negative. I've brought out my pinwheel. There was no mention of this in the tactical meeting. I was just following orders. That's right, as the man says. Just say you never saw the gentlewoman. That's what they told us. Aha. They've misspoken on court stand. Dum-dum. Oh. What? What did you just say? Oh, no. You were just following orders? Now hold on, lad. I was, say you never saw that gentlewoman. Sure. When you say gentlewoman, do you mean you saw the victim with a lady from overseas? What?
Objection!
What is the meaning of all this? These witnesses gave false statements? Is this true, you pair? ... Just one simple slip of the tongue. Order! Counsel, explain what is going on here. How am I supposed to know? Painfully clear now. You tried to prevent these witnesses from telling the truth. Absolutely not. The prosecution knows nothing of this. Then who's behind this? Who tried to make you keep your mouth shut? Well, that's classified. So you're prepared to be tried as conspirator to this murder, are you? You wouldn't. This can't be happening. Judging from the way they're reacting to this, I'd say they were sworn to silence by someone with considerable influence. However, I don't believe he had any idea about it. What are you saying? I mean, to wield that kind of influence, there's only a handful of possibilities. It could only have been the government, the military, or the police, I suppose. Well, any ideas on who might be behind this? If we can affirm who tried to silence the witnesses, we can continue our pursuit. We need the name of whoever it was that tried to make the witness keep their mouth shut. Can I check the back of that business card, please? Of course, we'll need evidence before we make any accusations. Evidence that proves whoever really did it wielded his or her power here. But how? How can we possibly... I just... Pink. Flip this thing? Yes! Haha. It's the police! That's on the military? You wrong! It's the police! In. I knew the back of the card was gonna have something to do with it. Remember how we made progress before? We examined this piece of evidence in more detail and found a new clue as a result. Ah, yes, that's right. Well, that's not the only piece of evidence we have, is it? Just need to re-examine everything and make sure there's nothing we've missed. There's no time to lose. I want answers. If it's proven that these witnesses have been manipulated, I assure you the penalty will be severe. Please, wait, Your Excellency. I had no idea about any of this. I swear to every Shinto god. I knew nothing. What does the defense have to say about this, well, Your Excellency. No time to think. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and shout out the first name that comes to my head. Sir? That's not how this should work. Besides the prosecution, the only person with the necessary influence to manipulate the witnesses is... I mean, is it this guy? This is the only influential guy in this lineup. Right? He's a waiter. We know he's been talked to by the police. He did say it was on the back of his business card, which is what's giving me pause. Is he really a waiter, or was he just pretending to be for this case and is actually a police guy? I want to look at the other things right now, but I'm not allowed to. Alright, let's throw it out there if it's this, and then if not, for some reason it's going to be him. But I think it might be him. Because he did say his business card, and that's kind of what I've been sitting on. And we know that that business card is now a policeman's business card.
Yes!
Surely that would be the waiter.
Objection!
I mean, the fact that we actually got words means that we might be okay. Possible reason would the waiter have to make the witness give false testimony? Not to mention the fact that even the head waiter could not have possibly had that level of influence. For once, I would agree with you. If that is, the man truly were a waiter. What? Is he, if he truly were? Come on, Ryunosuke, time to hit this court with the truth. Truth about him is proved by this evidence. Yes. Oh, I think I might have to flip the thing around and then present that. Blackguard who would stop stupid presenting a ruling, yeah, blah 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 blah. Yeah. Yeah, I have to actually flip it around. But I know that's the right one. But I have to discover it. See, when they don't make an actual noise when you present something, that usually keys you in that you did it wrong. We do this, and then we do this, and then we do that. Well, that's unexpected. What is? Look, do you see it says the witness's name here? Well, yes, business cards do tend to show the person's name. That's sort of the point. Not the name that's unexpected, it's his job title. His job? Oh. Chief Inspector, Primary Criminal Investigation Division, Imperial Police Bureau. Inspector, what on earth? I have no idea, but let's face it, the police have a lot of power and influence. They're wielding something somehow here. Yeah, so we had to update the business card. Now I can present that.
Yes!
On the restaurant sketched on the man in question. I agree it shows a great deal of attention, but I'm not sure we conclude anything. That's the back of the card. It's the back of the card that's of interest. I beg your pardon? It's the front of the card. Perhaps I should have said the front. Yes, it's the front of the back of the card. That's where the telling detail is, my boy. My sweet, precious boy. You're an idiot. Somebody please explain this overexcited student is trying to say. Look at his dumb face. He sketched the plan of the restaurant on the reverse side of his business card. The front of the business card reveals the man as the questioned profession, his true profession. Waiter's profession? But that's surely... Good gracious. That's right. Card reads, Chief Inspector, blah blah blah, policeman. The waiter is a police detective? I haven't heard any mention of this before. Why haven't I heard any mention of this before? But the police bureau has immense power, absolute power, as far as regular civilians are concerned. So witnesses there in the stand. Was it in fact the waiter who gave you your orders? Was it he who told you not to mention what you'd seen this foreign gentlewoman at the scene? Well... Hold it! Who said hold it? Wait, none of you. Inspector. What is this 3 people at the witness stand? That's not allowed. I was worried something like this may happen. The moment you asked me to submit my sketches and evidence, I realized it was a possibility. Oh, well... Their problem. Hand the plan to the court officer at once. Of course. Here you are. Yes, I remember now. He did act strangely when the judge asked him to hand over his business card. Strive to carry out all investigations flawlessly. It's my guiding principle. But I let myself be distracted when I made that sketch. He did the glasses thing. It was an unusually careless mistake. So you mean to say you really are a detective? But why would a detective be working as a restaurant waiter? Ah, of course. Your salary must be terrible. I was working undercover. Undercover? Yes, there have been a series of incidents at the restaurant recently. In order to investigate, I decided to get there as a waiter, working undercover. Incidents at the restaurant? What kind of incidences? Murders. That would be classified police information, which I am not at liberty to divulge. However, I can state categorically that they are unrelated to this case of homicide. Very well then, Inspector. Wait, will you elaborate on one point for the court? Of course, Your Excellency. We've just heard new information from the 2 witnesses beside you. At the time of shooting, there was in fact another person present at the victim's table. That is indeed true. Clearly, you would have also been aware of this person's presence, having served at the table in question. However, your testimony did not allude to this other diner. Whoops. Just another dinner. Therefore, I am led to assume that in your professional capacity as a police officer, you required these witnesses to be in agreement. Would that be correct? Sir, you have blood coming out your mouth. Correct, Your Excellency. Unbelievable! As I suspected. Bang! As soon as I heard the gunshot, I ran out of the kitchen to see what had happened. The victim sat slumped in his chair. Beside him, gun in hand, stood the accused student. Sitting opposite the victim, at the same table, was a young lady, whom I guessed to be an Englishwoman. The truth comes out. I immediately sealed off the restaurant and reported the incident to the bureau. It was then that I received some special orders. Special orders? You mean to say? Remove the Englishwoman from the scene at once. It was made clear that the Englishwoman's presence at the restaurant was to be concealed. Those were my orders. But what if this Englishwoman was the killer? I think it would be in everyone's best interest not to pursue that idea. The Empire views the friendly terms of its relationship with Britain more highly than anything at the moment. An Englishman has been murdered on our soil. To name an Englishwoman as primary suspect, well, without irrefutable evidence, that would be completely out of the question. So that's the reason for the disappearance of the Phantom Woman in this case. But it's not right. Welcome to the courtroom where half the rules are made up and the other half just, you know, happen. One possibility does spring to mind. What do you mean? UMaine University is currently hosting a great number of exchange students from Great Britain. I'm fairly certain one of them, studying in the medical facility's research laboratory, is a young English woman. What? You're a shrewd man. You can see why you're the chosen candidate for the overseas study tour. I mean, when I removed the woman from the scene of the crime, I thought it prudent to check her identity first. And the court demands that you name the lady in question at once. The English woman sitting at the university professor's table was a certain Miss... I thought I'd be able to read the English person's name easily, and I can't. Miss Jezza Eel? Brett? She's indeed a foreign student studying in the research laboratory of UMaine University's medical facility. What is happening here? I mean that under orders from the police bureau, I erased all evidence of this lady's presence at the scene and ordered these witnesses to make no mention of her in the testimonies. It must now be up to your excellency to decide how to deal with this situation. Well, throw everything out because it's all been lies. Plain and simple. My thoughts on the matter are as follows. Thus far, the case presented to the court has been underpinned by a particularly critical premise. Namely, that the victim was dining alone. However, as we've now discovered that this premise is false, it would be a desecration of our justice system to ignore the truth and give a ruling at this point.
Objection!
But Your Excellency, that would mean missing the noon deadline of a ruling in order to send a telegraphic report to Great Britain. Maybe you shouldn't put half an after, like literally a morning of court. It was 3 hours. But you would need time to type the thing, and court didn't start till 9. Wait, you thought this would be over in 2.5 hours? Our own government would surely be displeased by such actions, which actually, hilariously, we've been going for 2 hours and 6 minutes. Most of that has been the court case. You literally thought it would just be done in 2 hours? Calm yourself, counsel. I will not allow the government of our country or any other to influence the proceedings of my courtroom. Inspector? Yes, sir. You will locate this... I'm just gonna call her Jezza and escort her to the courtroom with the utmost urgency. At once, Your Excellency. But that means you're going against the special orders you were given from the police bureau. As I said before. It is my guiding principle to carry out all investigations flawlessly. So it won't be a problem? I mean, he might die on the way there. Nothing will get in my way. But this horrible TB he likely has. Court will be adjourned briefly. Prosecution must call the English student to the witness stand. Do I make myself clear? Yes. Your Excellency! Good. Then we'll have a 30-minute recess before the reconvening. Yeah, that means I get to save. To be continued. So this is Ace Attorney. It's fun and dumb and I love it. Save my current progress, please, and thank you. So we will perhaps do some more Sunday? Sunday fun day? Who knows? I don't know. Sometime soon. You guys seem to be enjoying the nonsense that is Ace Attorney, so perhaps we will do some more. We still got some hi-fi to finish up at some point. My brain just hasn't been feeling it, so we're taking a break. And we'll see y'all later. Everyone have a lovely weekend. We all got through the week. I'm proud of you. Pats on the back. Go have an extra scoop of ice cream for me. Good night. Bye-bye.